Boomstick.
Hey.
I've already kind of given our listeners a little inkling as to what might be coming up in your reel, Boomstick's movie reel today.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
Well, I went to see Warhorse. And
already, the way you said that just
and
doesn't strike me with full of confidence.
Do you know what I wish I'd seen instead of Warhorse? Horse War. Like, really, really badly. That would have been amazing.
What is Horse War?
Yeah, the horse war. That's because that would have been at least honest about backscaling the human endeavours and putting the horse at the forefront of the story.
Okay, all right, okay, well. So, Warhorse is quite a new film that's come out in cinema, directed by Steven Spielberg, who needs
actually the Mexican equivalent, Spielbergo.
Spielbergo. He needs no introduction. He's worked on a few films and they've been quite successful.
He's done some stuff, I heard.
He's done some stuff. He's a good friend of ours here. And, we gave him and taught him everything he knows. So
I think I could teach him.
This is the first thing. Well, he did Tintin recently as well, but I don't think he's directed much in recent years.
He's taken a very much of an executive producer role for ages on loads and loads of films. I think he's been doing a few films, but they've been quite steady and slow. And he's just, I don't know, he's sort of involved in loads of films. But executive producing is a weird job for him to be doing. Yeah. Anyway,
you'd expect someone of his caliber, talent, and skilled. You want him behind the camera.
I suspect that he's there probably more for namesake than his skill at executive producing.
Okay.
Which is essentially being accounts.
Okay, fair enough. So, but he's back behind the camera for this one, Warhorse.
Yeah.
Hit me. What's it about?
Warhorse is...
Try and speak a bit more confidently, a bit more enthusiastic.
Warhorse is a celebrated novel by Michael Morpurgo. It was a revered theatre production with genius invention, apparently, in terms of its stage direction, stage production, art design. And now Spielberg has made this. And
how does it work? How does it compare?
How does it compare? It is, for me, it strikes me as a uninteresting adaptation of the story, to the point where I think I haven't. The problem really is that I haven't seen it I haven't seen the story in its other two mediums, and I probably should have done. And I kind of want to now, but I get the sense that this is a story that's about World War One.
Yes, very much so.
And it uses the... Is it though? Is it though?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, well, it's also about a horse. And I think the horse probably operates, at least in the story and in the theatre production, as a metaphor for driving people uselessly into battle to be uselessly killed.
Okay.
And just the sheer horror of World War One and its pointlessness. I would have thought, that's what I took from the story, even from the film level. However, I think the film humanises this horse to a crazy degree.
Too much? I mean, yes. It literally is. Yeah. I will say, I love this film, but I literally will say the horse is, invested, went away for 3 or 4 years and trained in some of London's best acting schools and colleges and universities, because these boys can act.
The horses.
The horses, yeah.
Or the horse whisperers. I think that and I'm a bit worried about that. Like, for me, it just distracted from the magnitude of the setting. And I didn't really get what the purpose of that was. I thought that there's lots of things that they sort of tried to do these weird, like, funny bits where they tried to relieve the tension. Almost like they're trying to play for a massive audience as well. And maybe the horse, maybe it's a family film? Is it a family film? What do you think?
No, I wouldn't say it was a family film.
So why were there so many family laughs in it?
Well, because I think, from my point of view, I thought it was an incredibly engrossing and immensely emotional film. Okay.
I think we should state exactly
Hold on,
how
I haven't finished. I haven't finished. Sorry.
Okay.
Shut up.
Right.
Sorry.
I see.
Now I've lost what I was going to say. But yeah, so continue. I've literally lost what I was going to say.
You're saying it's an incredibly emotional film.
Yeah, it's a very emotional film. No, I still can't remember
really?
what was that. Yeah,
let me fill in the blank. You found it extrally emotional.
Yes, I did.
Hang on. Did you... is my mic working?
Yeah, it's definitely on. Go on.
So, did you go on a date together?
A mandate?
No, we didn't go on a date. It was me, myself and Irene, and Kat, my lovely girlfriend, and my sister, and Roscoe. And it was... I just really enjoyed it. I thought you have to kind of see past... even if it is used as a metaphor, I don't think you get that. It does kind of cover a lot of bases. I think, I've just realised what I was talking about now.
Okay.
There's a lot of, and I can see where you're coming from, a lot of the kind of, the light-hearted moments and elements, they are in there for light relief, because I thought it was a very heavy film. Without it, you'd probably walk away from it feeling quite bummed out.
I think
but those things just break it up and give you some kind of respite.
For me, they were a bit too distracting, and
really?
I couldn't really connect.
Do you think he kind of chucked him in there for the sake of it?
Yes, certainly, and I think that's kind of Spielberg's fault sometimes. He likes doing that, but it was a weird film anyway. I couldn't connect with that horse. I tried. I really tried, Matt.
Could you connect with the characters around him?
Not really. I thought the boy was quite a bad actor.
Okay. Just before we go on, actually, let's just sort of say what the film actually is about. You know, what is the plot in a nutshell?
So a horse trains a boy. A boy comes across this miracle, beautiful horse. And
let's just say he's not magical in any way, shape, or form.
I didn't say magical.
No, what did you say?
Beautiful
or something.
I don't know.
Miracle. Right. Okay.
Miracle horse. Who's fantastic. And he trains this horse, and it sort of saves his farm-ish.
Yes.
He uses this horse against its purpose to farm his farm, to plough the land.
And ploughs a field, which basically gets them enough rent, enough crops to pay rent to keep their farm kind of going.
But in a short nutshell, a short nutshell, not those long nutshells.
Yeah.
It didn't really work out, and eventually the horse gets sold to save the farmer's debts, and gets sold to the army when World War breaks out. And then it's about the horse sort of like transisting through like loads of different scenarios,
and it kind of it's about where it kind of touches people's lives. You know, the horse very much goes on a journey from A to B and comes back to A, and he just touches all these many different people's lives within the war. It takes so many little detours, and eventually it's like a boomerang. It's a boomerang horse. Should we call boomerang horse? Boomerang horse.
I don't agree with that. This horse is jammy, for one thing. He's very, very lucky. But he's, he goes on, understandably, like a crazy plight. And this horse comes back, and eventually, you know, all these characters reconnect in some magical way.
Yeah.
Which is fine, not magical. Miracle. And, yeah, but for me, like, it was trying to emote that horse to the nth degree. When I think the really interesting was probably the people. Should have been the people around this horse. This horse is obviously the driving force, but I think it's in this film adaptation. It's the protagonist.
Okay.
And I think in the theatre production, I don't know, but in the theatre production, I imagine it is a tool.
I would imagine so, and certainly I've seen my fair share of theatre productions, and I've been in theatre. I mean, you will it's like reading a book. You know, you build your own imagination, you build your own world. You know, when you go to see a film or a TV series or whatever, you know, it's there on a plate for you. So, you know, they've gone to this massive, extent of putting this production on, and it's wonderful and it's amazing. But yeah, it is kind of spoon-fed to you to some degree. But I just think, you know, buy into the story. If you can buy into the fact that, you know, for what it is, I think you'll go on such an emotional roller coaster. I mean, dude, it was probably only you, okay, and maybe my sister, who's also hard as nails. You know, the chorus of weeping and blubbering at the end of the cinema.
It was like a symphony.
I've never experienced anything like that. You know, you just silence. You know, the title comes up at the end, and it's like blah 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 blah, and you're just like, what have we just witnessed? I thought I'd witnessed magic. I thought it was amazing. Full stop.
I think you need to step back.
No,
from
dude.
The brink of madness.
I'm hosting this show. It was amazing.
I think.
Why didn't you like it?
Because I don't get the horse.
Why didn't you like it? Answer the question.
All right. Honestly, there's several stylistic reasons why I don't like it.
I think the fact is, Ross, do you have a heart?
Well, are you dead inside?
That's the very question you asked me on Friday, and I slightly resent the idea that I'm dead inside, for reasons that I'm not an unemotive person.
No.
As I explained to you,
I wasn't being offensive, by the way.
Really?
No.
There are episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that break my heart. Okay, and I'm not even joking. There are moments.
Oh my god! I can't believe you just used that example. Warhorse, touching people's lives, saving lives.
I care more about the plights of Buffy the Vampire Slayer than that horse.
That literally is a quote up there with Churchill, any other big political figure, you know, Martin Luther King, eat a heart out.
Let me summarise. Like, when you ask yourself why you're making a film, which Spielberg should have done before he did this, let's assume that he did. It's rather than answering, let's just make some money, or like he probably says to himself, I really want to tell this story. Great, but what are you adding to it? Like, there's a reason you make a film. You're making into a new medium, right? And I, as I mentioned before, it's style-wise as well as narrative. This film reads and plays like a play, like a theatre production. Like even like Star Wars, it was really contrasting lighting.
But maybe
like, he felt like he was paying homage to the theatre production. In which case, why make a film? It's fine. It was a really, really well respected theatre production.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe are you saying like if for any director, and I totally see where you're coming from. I see the case, but like you want to bring something new and tell that story, but. I thought the story and the narrative was great, and it was really immersive. What's wrong with just bringing that to the big screen? Not everyone's seen it at the theatre. It's quite expensive to go to the theatre, go to London or whatever. And what's wrong with just bringing that to the big screen?
Agreed, but I don't think he did bring it to the big screen.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Okay, just say why before we go to a track, before we elaborate some more.
Because he shot it like a theatre production.
Okay, how?
Or he lit Devon like it was...
forget lighting, dude. I mean, come on. Every film's like, lighting's rubbish, then it must be an awful film. Boom.
I never sign off sentences saying the word boom. Actually, sometimes I do. But that's not... I think I've done on the radio yet. I don't... Is that how I sound? No.
You don't actually like hit me with taglines and catchphrases, but okay, why was it like a theatre production?
Because it felt like narratively it opened like scenes, like acts. It kept closing down rather than a continuous story. Like physically, it felt like it was just bit party, like a theatre production.
Fair enough. I get that.
It doesn't. For me, it wasn't different enough. It wasn't filmic enough to be a film.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go to a short clip from said film, quite a lengthy one actually. It's 56 seconds.
Apologies.
No, we're going to play this. Then we'll go into a track from the game StarCraft 2: Wings of Liberty, which I'm really looking forward to. And then we'll be back to talk a bit more movies and also some piracy and copyright within video games from the amazing shoulders that are